Well, as usual, I think we're live, but I'm not sure.
We just can never learn when we're live because now it's a whole thing. Right?
Yeah, now I don't feel compelled.
To see the bit.
Right. I no longer feel compelled to learn when we're live and when we're not. Okay, you do the leading now.
I do the leading now for introduction?
Yeah, I'll do the leading later.
Okay. Well, first you need to talk about our rating.
Oh, okay. Well, this is Suicide and Stuff, number 1. It's been like a while since we've had an episode because all kinds of things were going wrong. This show is rated R because why?
Because of bad words.
Bad words.
We say them all. Yeah.
We do. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. I'm Des.
What?
Tell me more about I'm just Des. One day we're going to get good at this. Instead it's awkward. Yes, I created Live Through This, which is a series of portraits and true stories of suicide attempt survivors across the United States. I complain on the internet a lot, and I'm friends with these two.
Yeah. I am Jess. I work at Rocky Mountain Crisis Partners. We're, among other things, the provider of the statewide peer support and crisis lines for Colorado. And I do lots of rabble-rousing suicidology, which is exciting sometimes and painful at other times. And mostly do my work at sort of the intersections of social justice and mental health. I'm particularly interested in suicide attempt survivors and race as well. We're pretty bad about and suicide. So our guest today is Anne. Introduce herself.
I'm Anne. I'm Canadian. That's the most exciting thing about me. I write a fair amount about mental health, and Des and I were just saying we met through my blog, which is now mostly defunct, but was called The Bell Jar, but with an E on the end of bell, like a Southern Belle, which was to be my all-girl punk rock band if I ever had one, but I didn't have one.
But then I didn't have one.
Yeah, having a band requires music and being good at music and stuff, which I've never been good at. Yeah. But I've always had dreams of being in a band anyway.
Same.
I think a lot of coming of age movies gave me a false sense of I would just end up in a band.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just happens to you, right?
Yeah.
You're singing and then you're in a band.
Yeah.
I wish.
And your band gets to play in cool places right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody loves it.
No effort at all.
Yeah.
No practicing. No one needs to have skills.
No.
I could be the booby tassel girl.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Just a band of booby tassel girls. I think that's just burlesque.
So, we're not here to talk about our band of booby tassel girls, although
it's unfortunate.
I would listen to a podcast about that too. But we do have suicide things to talk about.
We do have suicide things to talk about. I mean, when don't we? I think all of us talk about suicide every single day.
Yeah, I never shut up about it. I always think I am going to lose friends over it or something, but now I think I just have only friends who also want to hear about suicide all the time.
Pretty much. Yeah. Or friends who will put up with it and ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Anne. Talk about the Bell Jar. Actually, I don't know if you even know this, but my wife used to read your blog, and she introduced the blog to me, and then I stalked you into being my friend like Jess does.
Yeah, I also stalked you, but this is our first time talking in real life.
I know, same. And we're all afraid. We're all like...
I know, all of us are awkward as fuck. It's all right.
It's fine.
This will be cool eventually. We'll warm up.
Yeah, we'll get there. How many of us are at our mom's houses today? 2? Not Jess. Jess is at work.
Nope, look at me, at work.
Me and Anne are at our mom's houses.
Yeah.
Okay, Bell Jar, go.
Yeah, well, I started it when I was like a stay-at-home mom, when my son was like a year old, and I didn't. I was really starved for adult contact. I was making these like 1,000-word Facebook tweets about like breastfeeding, so I was like, I'll just start like a mommy blog. But it was like, I don't know, kind of morphed into like more than a mommy blog, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I caught it on not the mommy blog end of things.
Yeah, I did not know that it started as a mommy blog until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even when it was bad, it was still like me writing like 1,000-word essays about my feelings.
Yeah, I mean, moms have feelings, right?
Yeah.
Heard that about moms before.
We're not supposed to.
Right.
No.
It's not allowed, but we do. Oh, we also have Theos, both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anne was
Mine
one of the...
might bust in at some point because I can hear him like lurking out in the hallway, so I don't know.
Come tell us about some medieval king.
Yeah. That's like, he's like 8, right?
Yeah, he'll be 9 in 2 weeks.
Wait, when's his birthday?
January 17th. It's like right around the same time as
Gus is the 16th, yeah. Jeez. Too many connections with our children's. Okay, so we did the bell jar, and then that went quiet, and you started doing like more actual paid writing work.
Yeah, well, through the stuff that I did with the bell jar, I was able to get contacts to like slowly start doing paid work, but it was like very, very slow, and it's been very slow building. But now I get to like, at first it was a lot of like feminist hot takes of like, here's why this is problematic, but now I get to write kind of more depth stuff that isn't just like 24-hour rage turnarounds.
Yeah, no, you're doing that series, Women of Infamy.
I was 24-hour rage turnaround, though.
Oh, God, no.
We talked at the same time. Sorry. I love a 24-hour rage turnaround.
You know.
That said something probably more meaningful.
No, I was just gonna say now you're doing this Women of Infamy, Queens of Infamy, that people are fucking obsessed with. Don't be humble, ho. That's not why we're here.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, Queens of Infamy is like a long form series that I'm with Long Reads, which like each installment is a different queen from history, and it's like hopefully funny and smart and feminist, and like I find it like a really interesting chance to look at like how women negotiate having power or like don't negotiate it, and like it's like still very like, I don't know, shades of like the 2016 election. So
ugh. Still.
I mean, Canada's only had one female prime minister for like 2 months, so we're like not that great either. And she only got in because she kind of got pushed into being the party leader, and then they immediately elected her out of like glass clip situation. So we've never elected a woman leader.
Fun. That's good.
So I'm curious about like how many of the Queens of Infamy do you think are people that would have been like psychiatrized or hospitalized or whatever during like current in current mental health systems?
Of the ones I've done, I don't know if any of them would have been hospitalized, but definitely like they were like pathologized within their lifetime, like after their lifetime. You know, like for sure in Berlin, there would get some kind of like histrionic or narcissistic diagnosis.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of actually I feel like all of the women who are comfortable with or wielding power would get some kind of like narcissist, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially if they're like comfortable with holding power and also have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like sometimes people who don't have it might go under the radar a little bit more, but
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, like there's a real like historical sense of them being like unnatural as women. Actually, there's even a term that was used and still used, which is virago, which means like she-wolf, which was like used to describe like a woman who unnaturally loved power.
I think Shakira sang a song about that once too. I like Shakira.
Is that a confession?
I don't know.
Do you see other connections between your work on the like your mental health related work and then also your work with the Queens of Infamy stuff?
Yeah, I guess in the sense that in the sense of like I was saying about kind of when pathologizing women and they're pathologizing their feelings and you know like gaslighting them, and it does remind me a lot of you know being in psychiatric settings and kind of like the really like condescending infantilizing tone you get from doctors, especially male doctors. Like, I mean, every woman I know who's ever been in a psychiatric setting has at some point or multiple points had a doctor say to her, well, you're a young, attractive woman. Like,
why are you sad?
Yeah. And you're like covered with snot and makeup, and you're like, first of all, I'm not.
I'm angry when I'm angry. That's true for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of crying when I'm mad. So talk more about like your specific mental health stuff online, because I feel like I mostly catch your tweets at 2 a.m. when you're like, I shouldn't be rage tweeting, but I am.
So when I'm up texting Des.
Yeah.
Looking at your Twitter.
2 a.m. is the witching hour, I guess.
It is my witching hour. Well, it's midnight for me, but 2 a.m. for you.
Twitter after dark. Yeah, that's when I do the like regret tweets, but I wake up the next morning and I'm like, what did I tweet?
And then you'll have 150 replies and you're like, well, shit, I can't delete that.
Yeah, and then I feel like it's when I tweet like that I'm like, you know, sad and wish for the sweet embrace of death or whatever. And then people tweet really nice things back at me and I can't just ignore them. So then I have to spend the next day going through and being like, thank you, yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. I no longer wish to speak of it.
I no longer wish to speak of it. Oh, that's
no more. Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I'm me, so it is whatever. But I noticed that you get a lot of engagement when you talk specifically about mental health stuff on Twitter. Also, all of our Twitter handles are across the bottom of the screen in case people want to follow us.
You're into rage tweets. I only did one today.
I think I didn't do any today.
I did some.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, well, I think like, you know, I feel like I'm lucky because I like don't have any real jobs, so I can just kind of shit post and have no consequences. So I don't really have a lot of like filters about my mental health. So I talk about stuff that other people are maybe afraid to articulate or don't feel comfortable articulating. Although my mom follows my Twitter and like openly reads it in front of me, so I should be more careful what I do.
My mom is like resisting following me on Twitter. She's like, this is the one place where your people aren't everywhere. And I'm like, aha, I'm going to fuck that up too, Karen. You know, it's fine. She's fine. She's just watching reality shows and tweeting about that. I mean...
So my mom has like a locked account with like 13 followers, and she doesn't interact with me. She just reads my tweets, which like is I don't have a problem with that. But she, her tweets are all like either like talking about like deals at the grocery store or like tweets at her cable company that they're not going to see anyway because it's a locked account, or she works in a diabetes clinic. So she'll often talk about like the history of diabetes.
Do you want to give your mom's Twitter a shout out for the people? So she can get some followers.
She won't follow any of them back.
I think that's fine.
It's a locked account, so you can't see anything. And she's a very normally I would, but she's a very private person.
Okay, then we won't do that. That's Mom. Good. It's nice to be your mom.
I guess.
Cute mom.
So, like, why are you interested in suicide and stuff?
Yeah. Are you more interested in suicide or stuff?
Ooh, how do you pick?
Hard to say. Yeah, I mean, I've made a couple of attempts, so I guess that's why I'm interested in it, you know, as like a grim personal interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still really, like, obviously the theme of this show, like, really fucked up how we don't talk about it and the ways we do talk about it, and, like, you know, one of my attempts was after I was already a mom, and that was really, like, loaded and complicated because I feel like there's so many narratives about that, like, you know, when both Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade died by suicide within a couple of days of each other, and like so many narratives about Kate Spade were like, wow, like what a selfish bitch, like she had a 12-year-old, like doesn't he how could she leave a kid, and like Anthony Bourdain had a 2-year-old, and I saw literally nothing even about him being a dad, let alone being like a bad dad. So that was really interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not allowed to have feelings. You're not allowed to feel pain as a mom. I remember, I think it was last summer, last June, I did an event with another artist, and someone came up to me afterward and was like, well, now that you have a son, like, you're gonna stay, right? That changes everything, doesn't it? And it's like, I mean... Yes, but no, like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me that? That's really unfair and shitty.
Yeah.
That's so, like, it's like rude.
Extra.
Like, yeah.
Hi, I'm a stranger.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about your son.
Yeah. Well, I felt that way too when I was pregnant. Like, I was so miserable. I just wanted to escape. And that was the only time it ever felt like, well, I can't do this because, like, I have a human growing in here. And that felt worse.
Yeah.
That was awful. Talk more about that.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of, like, anxiety and OCD and, like, I want to say borderline, like, not living in reality when I was pregnant, but I didn't have any suicidal feelings. But I definitely did after I had my son, and it was like, I had a very complicated birth, and it was like preterm, and he had some complications, and I just felt like I felt so unequipped to handle it, and I felt like I'd already ruined his life, and he was like 5 minutes old, and like it was all my fault, and I was clearly an unfit mother, and the only way I was going to get myself out of it was like to kill myself. And yeah, you know, it was like really shitty.
Yeah.
So, not your most shining moment then?
No. Yeah, like, oh, yeah, such bad, poor postpartum support. And like the numbers just show that it's increasing. I can't remember what it was. I did an article about it, but it's like the numbers on PPD in Canada are huge, and there's like really like a lot of programs or support or resources or anything.
Yeah. Did they just keep giving you that screening over and over again?
You know,
the PHQ-9.
No, the Edinburgh or Edinburgh. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I think it's Edinburgh. It was the Edinburgh screening. Yeah.
They didn't screen me, which is like also a red flag because I was definitely like had already had experiences with mental illness before that, and you know, kind of thought about that. And then it wasn't until I went to my appointment like 8 weeks postpartum, and my OB had this like very loud and wonderful and terrifying nurse, and she was kind of asking me questions, and I was like, yeah, you know, I feel really bad and sad all the time. And she was like, what? She was like, that's not right. And she was like, we're gonna sit here until someone can see you. And so I sat in my OB's office for 3 hours until a social worker could see me, which was really nice of her.
Yeah.
After that, like most of the services I encountered were really good.
Wow. Yeah, they kept giving me that screening that like I had the prior history and it didn't even ask about it. So for someone who was also at really high risk and truly worried that that was going to happen to me, the screening never, ever, ever would have caught me. And like, I don't love screenings anyway, but fuck, if someone needs help, that ain't going to help them. I took it again like a couple months ago when I actually started getting depressed, and it was like, oh, well, we're at a 17 now. Cool. Good. Useless. Oh, my mom's here.
Yep, I saw her come on.
Yeah, well, if you want to follow her on Twitter, it's at KennedyKaren43.
Oh, no. Oh, Carly's on there too. Carly, who was going to be our guest, but then we were all sick.
How does that happen? 4 out of 4 people were sick.
I know. In all different places.
I know. All different places and all miserable. Very good.
Yeah. That's okay. She's coming back.
Yeah, I like it. What else? It's 9:23. We've talked a lot and gotten 24 minutes in. Do we want a beef corner early?
Yeah, let's do a beef corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's wait. I have a new. You're not going to be able to see it, but I have a new beef corner thingamadoo. So I'm gonna show that now. Oh, and of course, it's Doja Cat. So we're gonna do beef corner. It's a GIF. I am feeling fancy as fuck. I figured that out. That's awesome. Good. So you guys talk about your beef because I have so many beefs I don't even know what to talk about.
Next, we will find out how to remember or know when we start live. That's going to be the next technology feat that we master. Is like, are we live?
Is it? Is it? Should it be? I don't know.
No, I don't know if it will be. I can start with beefs.
Go.
My beef of the day, I have more than one, but my big beef of the day is about Marsha Linehan. I have more than one beef about Marsha Linehan.
Wait, before you beef, can you move your head over a little?
This way?
Yeah, that way. Now it's perfect.
Good? Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So, Marsha Linehan is the founder of DBT. And there are things that are helpful about DBT. And there are things that aren't. And it's different for different people. But Marsha Linehan is also a suicide attempt survivor. And she's someone who was like locked up in some in scary hospital, like I think probably like 70s, 60s, something like that hospitals. I don't know what years. I didn't read her memoir that just came out. And I won't. For reasons that I'll get to in a minute. But, okay, so Marsha Linehan makes DBT. DBT is a therapy that's a bunch of shit she stole mostly from Buddhism, which she credits it, kind of, but also is making money off of someone else's religion. That's called appropriation, just for the record. That's what that is. So that's fuckery. But also DBT is sort of like, or parts of DBT are the programs that are run in almost any hospital setting. You're going to get some kind of DBT probably, especially if you do any kind of intensive outfit or whatever therapy. So she was hospitalized. DBT is something that she like theoretically created to like, it has helped her find her way out of this dark place. She thinks other people can find their way out too, which I think is great. Like peer support is cool, and people with lived experience creating things for other people with lived experience is cool. But here's some things that are fucked up. One is that her program is like widely used in coercive treatment, which she found utterly unhelpful for herself, but is fine with people using her program in those spaces. No problem, never said a word about it. And like fine with people being hospitalized in forestry. So that's some fuckery. Fuckery number two is that all of a sudden a while back, this bitch just decides she's like, no, it's like, I feel like too much of a hypocrite if I don't come out about being a suicide attempt survivor, which is also fine. I agree. That does make you a hypocrite. But when she does it, she tells everyone in the field on many occasions, many speaking engagements, you should never do this. It will ruin your career. Without challenging the fact that it's a career ruining thing for people to do. So she doesn't say, this is a challenge for the field and we need to do things differently. No, she tells people they should have to hide and stay in the closet, which further pathologizes something that theoretically she says shouldn't be pathologized to begin with. It's bullshit. That's fuckery number two. And then she writes a fucking book about it. She wrote a memoir. So you shouldn't be able to talk about it, but she can, and she's going to make money off of that too. So that's fuckery number three. And then she says in her memoir that if she could do it, other people should be able to also. But you know, like that only counts for something if you're creating things that are accessible to people that they can freely engage in, just like she did, because she didn't find DBT in the hospital while she was being like force treated and like catheterized or whatever. I don't know if she was catheterized, but that happens to people. Like she didn't find it in the hospital. She found it somewhere else. And now she has created this entire program that people are being forced into. So she's not just saying, I did it and you can too. She's saying, I did it. And now we're going to force you to do it just like I did. And that's bullshit. That's fuckery. And she knows, just like everyone else that works in the field, that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach for everyone. So this is just makes me really mad. I have a lot of rage. I can't even like talk right now about it. Apparently I'm more worked up. I should have sent more rage tweets today so I could be more articulate now.
I mean, you were perfectly articulate.
That's the fuckery of Marsha Linehan. I'm not sorry if you're watching.
Now bring your head back over.
Still not.
It's good. It's good.
I'm not sorry. No, like be a better fucking advocate for your people. Like you don't get to identify with us for whatever personal gain you're getting and then not stand up for us for real.
And Marsha, if you're watching, you can come on here and talk to us about all that.
Oh my God, I would love for you to come and talk to me about it. I won't call you a name to your face.
Anne?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the like free floating zone between like December 23rd and January 1st, where I don't really know, like I haven't really been in the real world, so I haven't had like a lot to make me mad because I mostly like haven't been paying attention. But I am mad about the same New York Times article everyone else is mad about. But
wait, which one?
I mean all of them, but specifically the one about the man who murdered his wife with Alzheimer's.
I just read that a couple hours ago, and I am
It's like, I think, like, I guess I'm not surprised by the article or the framing of it. I am surprised that several prominent feminists who I thought would know better have tweeted it out saying things like, this is a love story. It's really love. And so I tweeted about how terrible that is. And now my mentions are full of people being like, you have no idea what it's like to lose someone to dementia. You have never been a caregiver. And like, actually, her mother just died of dementia. So it's a very raw place for me. So I'm just mad at everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if I ever get dementia, someone should take my ass out. Or, no, I should take my own ass out. I think that should be legal.
You should make a dance directive.
Yes. That should be illegal.
I think you should be able to take your ass out whenever, for whatever reason.
Agree. That whole article, I have lots of questions. Lots of them.
Yeah. It's just, why did it need to be written? That's my main question. They're not like famous people or like, you know, there is a family that's freshly grieving and it just, yeah, you know, and, you know, I am obviously all for nuanced discussions about the difficulties of caregiving, but when it's so gross for, you know, the paper of record to be framing a murder as a love story.
Yeah. There was like, no.
What year is this?
Right. There was no nuanced discussion of caregiving. Like, it legitimately was just like, hey, he shot her and then himself, and there was some dementia, and here's her dance card, and cool.
Yeah. It was very romantic.
Yeah.
We're really into that, like, Romeo and Juliet thing. I feel like we like ascribe like Romeo and Juliet qualities to murder-suicide a lot.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time with like domestic violence, which is the most common kind of murder-suicide. I hear that all the time. Some kind of weird Romeo and Juliet stuff popping up afterwards, and I'm like, no, this is like horrific domestic violence.
And you're like, also Romeo and Juliet both died by suicide. There was actually no murder. It was a suicide.
Also, they were teenagers.
Right. And they were teenagers.
Like, it's not a good love story. Stop pretending Romeo and Juliet is a good love story. It's like fucking sad and horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like stop pretending Shakespeare's great. That's
yeah, read a woman author.
Something. Shakespeare was a woman, Jess. Didn't you know?
I'm so tired of that shit.
I don't know if I've ever seen you roll your eyes so hard.
About Shakespeare being you've definitely seen me roll my eyes that hard. Like a million times.
Wait, do you guys have any other beef? I still haven't figured out what my beef is.
Oh, and you want me to talk about other beefs? I felt like I talked for so long about Marcia.
I enjoyed your beef. I was fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I have other beefs. I always have more beefs.
Okay, give us
one.
It's
fucking like, it's like 13 degrees right now or something stupid. What? Why? Oof. Why is that happening? It was like 60 the other day. I know that's how Colorado weather works. You all probably don't know that about Colorado weather, but it's 29. JK. Still, it's stupid.
That's cold.
I thought it was in the teens. This morning it was in the teens. Nope, 21. Whatever. It feels like it's 14, my weather app says. And that's how it feels to me. So I've got beefs with that. Because, like, don't be that cold and not give me snow.
Oh.
How do you feel about it?
Why do you like snow?
Because snow is amazing and cute and fun. And, like, you can put a blanket on and then not go places. Okay, you're wrong about snow. It's fine. Like, you can have wrong opinions, and I'll still be your friend, but...
I'm from Florida.
I know. You told me.
Yeah. Do you like snow, Anne?
I like it for, like, one day. Like,
yeah, that.
The first day snows, that's really pretty, but after that, it's gross. I'm not a cold weather person. Like, I'd rather it's like, I mean, this, I don't know what the American degrees, but I'd rather it's like 35 degrees and like sweaty and hot out.
35 degrees here is almost freezing, so that's different. Yeah.
Hold on,
but also, you live in Canada.
You like it that hot? Jesus.
How hot?
That's 95 degrees.
No. What about?
Fuck, you're gonna die.
No, I like the humidity. Like,
okay,
hot.
Like, that's still too hot, but no.
We were in New Orleans in August a few years ago, and I was like, "This is great. Like, this is my jam." Like,
no, I went in October and it was great.
Yeah, you are bad at Canadian.
No, I have always, when I was a kid, I used to fake being sick during recess in the winter, so I didn't have to go outside because I just hated it so much.
Very good.
And you would just be sick for recess.
I know. They caught on to that really quick. It was not the scheme I had hoped it would be.
Yeah, usually my kids' schemes were not very good either. So,
yeah, PE was the worst. I don't know what my beefs are. I'm just mad at everything. I just stay mad right now. My beef is with my insomnia because like something about my mom's house is like all I want to do is sleep while I'm here. So it's like I wake up and I hang out for an hour and then I go back to sleep with one of the babies and then I wake up and then I hang out and then like I probably fall over like in an narcoleptic fit. And then I wake up and then, you know, at midnight or so when it's time to start winding down, I'm like, hey, let's do some shit. I've got this website I'm working on. I'm going to text some ideas to people.
Yeah, you're doing too much shit for me right now.
And then it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, the babies are going to be up in 2 hours. And I'm going to die. So there's my beef. I was on a pretty solid schedule when we were home, but this vacation got me all fucked up.
Yeah, insomnia is the worst. It's just like an existential like horror, I find.
Yeah,
it is.
I had it really
awful.
bad in like November and the first part of this month, and I was like, if I don't sleep, I'm gonna murder someone.
Yeah.
Myself.
I have chronic.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
I just self-suicide.
Oh yeah, you just tell people don't do it.
Yeah.
We could have learned that a long time ago from the Big Fun song, Suicide Don't Do It, and Heathers.
I still don't have a Big Fun shirt.
Watch the Suicide movie. I want to do that for Halloween. One year is just to be the girl wearing the Big Fun shirt with her, you know, she pinned her suicide note to it, but I feel like that's probably very, very inappropriate and definitely like activating for people who have lost people to suicide. So it's not nice. So I can't. I just think about doing it and talk about it on this. Okay. We should get out of the beef corner because we got 20 minutes left.
Okay. Bye, beef corner. I don't have an outro right now. Comments. I have not been following comments. Have you? Do you see anything fun?
But this thing doesn't refresh. It's like really stupid. Facebook is really stupid.
Everything starts as a mommy blog. Okay. Your sister loves your hair.
My sister?
Yeah, your sister.
I didn't even see her on here. What?
She's on there. Mine wasn't reloading either. Now I'm like scrolling through. Krista likes your hair, wants to know if it's ombre.
I accidentally responded to that one as suicide and stuff.
Whatever. You are. Really good at running a show.
Krista wants to know if you have beefs about grad school, and like you don't at the moment, I think, but you did about that self-care book, and I want to hear about that actually.
Oh my god, it was called like the ABCs of self-care, and
I already hate
fucking terrible. It was so bad. It was like 5th graders writing about self-care. it was just an expanded version of all the lists that you see online about self-care. It was like, do yoga, exercise. There was a lot of fat shaming in there, you know, because you need to be on a diet and take care of your body. The only thing that I found interesting was like the SMART method of like when you're doing self-care, you want something to be like measurable, basically, like in order to succeed.
I was talking SMART goals. You can use SMART goals with anything.
Right. But like I didn't know about that, so I was like, well, that's cool. I'll highlight that piece. And other than that, it was a fucking waste of my life. But I read a book. So beef with that shitty book, but I read it.
You can read books.
I read a book. I haven't read a book and I don't even fucking know how long. So, beef, but not beef. Like delicious beef. There we go.
All right, back to Anne. Ask her some questions.
Anne, what's your favorite color?
No.
Was that not the... What'd you say, green?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Was that not the kind of question you wanted, Jess?
You know.
Well, now your head's too far to the other side. Okay, that's better. I want to know more about writing, you know, like, I don't know if our Facebook people have stalked you on Twitter yet, but you have like 75,000 followers or some crazy shit. People like you is what, you know, we've found. So,
What did you found?
huh? So yeah, talk more about the writing, and specifically, I know I've seen you tweet a lot about how like you should be writing, but you're not writing because everything's fucked up. Like, I want to know more about that and that process. I don't think we hear enough about that from writers.
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of my time not writing. That's real bad. I read a lot of Am I the Asshole on Reddit. That's my new time waster.
That's good.
And I'm like, okay, read one more, and then you have to write a paragraph. And then I drag myself through writing a paragraph, and I'm like, and I treat myself to another Am I the Asshole. Yeah, well, I don't know. I do a lot of like pre-writing in my head, which I think helps. Like, I do a lot of like, I kind of write a whole first draft in my head, and then I edit it as I'm typing it out, which is like, it's good if I can just kind of like absent like consciousness from that and not think as I'm doing it. But if I start thinking about it, then I'm like, everything in my is very stupid. So yeah, I think you just have to like not pay attention to what you're doing, and then let somebody else edit it.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I do all of my pre-writing in the shower when I can't write things down, and then I forget it. That's good.
I do all my pre-writing in some kind of rage text to someone. Usually does. But sometimes more than one person. And yeah, like a really long, nobody wants to read that kind of text.
She's always like, should I do it? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, people don't really pay me to write much. So apparently my process is not the one.
I do a lot of my writing on Twitter in like Twitter threads, which is like, also I don't recommend that, because then I'll have written like this long thread and I'm like, oh, that could have just been an essay that I could have made money on, but instead I just gave it away for free, and now someone will just copy and paste it into like a BuzzFeed listicle and make money off of it. I don't recommend that either. But like, I think Twitter can be good for like workshopping ideas, and kind of figuring out how you feel about things. And it's also like a good way to like build relationships with like other writers or editors or whatever. But then it's bad if you're like working on something and like all of your editors follow you and you're just like tweeting about how you're not doing it, and you're
Why would that be bad?
Sounds great.
Look, as long as you turn it in, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as you hit your deadlines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, writing is a funny thing that kind of like I still feel like I sort of lucked into it, and I don't really know how I did it, so I don't have a lot of advice because I'm like, I didn't go to school and I'm not very smart, but
Fuck
I somehow
school.
like I'm true, fuck school. But also, my kid is for sure going to like get his PhD if I have anything to say about it. He's not going to end up like an uneducated wastrel like his mother.
The way he talks, I already feel like he has one. Kid's a little weirdo. I enjoy it.
He doesn't like school, though. He is a weirdo. He's like a real Capricorn.
My Capricorn's gonna turn into a jock. He's gonna be like, I like balls. I don't know. I mean, that's how he is. He just doesn't say words.
Right. But he shows them. He's like, look at this ball.
Look at this
I like
ball.
that. Bashed into everything.
My Theo didn't. He like had a lot of like individual words, but he wasn't really like putting them together, and we were getting kind of worried. And then like all of a sudden when he turned 2, it went from like being like bow, this, whatever, and then all of a sudden it was like complex 5 to 6 word sentences.
That's horrifying.
I don't know, I feel like they make these weird leaps when you're not expecting it, where you're like,
right.
Oh, you could do that. Oh, I had forgotten about this, but I was just thinking about it the other day. So when he was like 6 months old, and there was a 9-month-old at like our play group, and she could clap, and I was like, oh my god, why isn't he clapping? Is it like a delay? Like other girl can clap. And so for like months I would be like, okay, let's practice clapping. And I guess I finally like gave up on it. And then one time when he was like 11 months old, I used to talk to him all the time, and so I was just rambling about something while I did the dishes, and I was like, and you don't even clap. And he like looked at me and he was like, how long have you been able to clap? And you've been like sitting on this. I'm like, also, I didn't even know you like could understand what I was saying.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a lot.
These small people are very strange.
Yeah, it's funny. They just come to you with like personalities intact, I find, and like it's like a detective story trying to figure out what kind of person they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm shocked at like how soon they have personalities. I just remember that with Gus. I was like, what the fuck?
Like you kind of think they're going to be a blank slate for like 6 months to a year, but they're really like right away they're themselves.
Yeah, you can tell things about him.
Yeah.
Gus was going to be a stubborn little shit very early. Theo's stubborn. It's good. Got 2 of those. So, yay. All right. We have 10 minutes left.
All right. Tell us more things about suicide.
Anne, that was not aimed at me.
Yeah.
Ask me questions.
So you told us about like your connection to suicide. Do you feel like there's a relationship between your writing work and like your history with suicide or the mental health system?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the first thing that I wrote that really got all shares was about having PTSD and wanting to kill myself. So yeah, definitely like there's a big connection there. And like one of the big things I wrote this year was that I wrote about the Catholic patron saint of mental illness or of the mentally ill, and got to go to the place where she was murdered, where they like have they still run this anti-institutionalization program, I guess I would call it, where people with severe mental illnesses live with people in the town, and they're very anti-institutional. And it's really interesting. It's such an interesting cultural shift, and it's been going on since it's been going on for over 1,000 years, which is wild.
That's really cool. I've seen a few models of that in different places that are really interesting to me.
Yeah, it's so, I think the most interesting thing to me is how it's become kind of so ingrained in the culture of the town that even when psychiatric medications became more widespread in kind of the 50s and 60s, the foster families, or whatever you want to call them in this town, were very against the use of medication because it's such a cultural idea for them that there's nothing about mental illness isn't a thing to be fixed or pathologized, and that it should be about care and about creating a system that can meet the needs of the person rather than changing the person to be fit for society. So they really felt like medications were bad because they alter how this person is. And they've since they do now use medications and stuff within the program. But I just thought such a completely different approach from what we have in most other places. And I had never heard of this place until I was reading about this random saint. And I was I'm pretty well read up on the history of psychiatry, and it's so wild to me that this is such a blip and an anomaly, and we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
What's the name of the saint again?
Saint Dymphna. She was from Ireland, but went to Belgium. Was murdered. Small town in Belgium called Giel. Yeah, you can they still have her bones in the church.
So there are communities that do that in the U.S. In some places, and then I think a lot of the peer support, peer respite models are sort of built on that idea, except instead of sort of living just in the community, you live with a host family, go live with other people with that lived experience.
Yeah. We have a very important question from Carly.
Yes.
She would like to know how amazing Matthew Lillard is.
Oh, she's always asking about that. She can't stop.
I feel like he is the most unsung comic genius.
Okay, do you know, I think you were the one that retweeted Carly's tweet, and then Matthew Lillard responded to her. Oh. And so you probably don't know Carly, but she's my friend. So
everybody should know Carly.
She's obsessed with Matthew Lillard. She's so into him. Not in a sexual way, just she says he's the most underrated actor.
I think so.
Yeah, and so you retweeted something she tweeted, and he said, and I'm responding to her. So he is probably forever. I think that was you. I might be lying. I might have told the story wrong, but
I was definitely tweeting about him in the summer because I saw what was that? A movie that I hadn't seen before. That's very clear. The one where she takes her glasses and she's beautiful. From the movie, where she gets a makeover. Anyway,
oh God, I don't remember.
It's not. I want to say 10 things about you, but it's not that. It's different.
No.
It was Anne. I see that it was Anne from Carly now. She says it was the greatest day of her life. So that's just you out there doing suicide prevention, making Matthew Lillard like Carly's tweets.
Keeping bitches alive. No, I don't know. Matthew Lillard has only ever been like relevant to me in Hackers, so and even then I was fucking annoyed by him, so it's fine.
The guy who did this switchblade tattoo that I got instead of cutting
Can't
myself.
see it.
Where?
There you go.
Now? Is it good? Okay. I got that instead of cutting myself recently. And the guy who did that tattoo for me kind of looks like Matthew Lillard.
Oh, Carly said, "Is it She's All That?"
That was good.
There we go.
She's All That.
Yeah. Same time.
All right. Do y'all have any final thoughts about suicide to talk about?
Suicide, don't do it.
I think it's bad.
It's really bad.
Mine is like suicide, do it if you want to.
My final thought is that if someone is talking about it, you probably shouldn't call them brave. That's like
yeah.
Is that, or like, especially like if I meet someone who I've only interacted with on Twitter and they're like, "You're so brave. Just
oh my God.
Mental health. Just so brave," and I'm like, it's like my literal like 24/7 dumb realities.
I love to ask Jess how many times people have told her she's brave in any given day.
Also, Jess is usually the person who has told me I'm brave. Like, I mean, sometimes she'll catch me on a day when I'm like 14, and I'm mad at all of them. But most of the time I'm just like, just you can have a brave thing today.
You're both very brave.
I'll like wake up to a tweet that's like, "You're so brave," from Jess.
Look, it's just, who wants to hear that they're brave? I don't know.
No.
Tell me I'm cool instead. That'll make me feel better.
You are cool.
See, I like that better. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay. We need one more final thought from somebody.
From Anne.
Yeah. Probably.
I feel like I've given a lot of thoughts.
Hey, look, we're here to put you to work for free. It's for the exposure.
My final thought is that people should keep shit posting about their mental health until it becomes normal.
Yes. I agree. That's a very good final thought.
I can get down with that.
Everyone in our audience, go off and shit post about mental health until next time. Basically, treat Twitter and Facebook and whatever like beef corner.
Yes.
Until next.
Or like your diary.
Or yeah, whichever. I mean, you do the diary thing for sure.
For sure. So does this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I mostly do. Mine's more like beef corner, I think.
I mean, yeah. Plus, like,
it's sort of like a diary because that's what I'm thinking about. But
wait, you know what we didn't get a chance to talk about now that it's 9:59?
No.
The penis fish on the beach. Did you guys see the penis fish?
I don't care about those. Do you care about those?
Those were great.
I mean, sounds like it, yeah.
I appreciated people's responses, which were just like horror. I had a couple people being like, "This is terrible. They look like real penises." And I was like, "You're straight. You have sex with things that look like that. It's fine. They're fine." I don't know. It's very strange.
I don't know. I don't think penises are particularly attractive, whether they're fish shaped like them or like sticks in general. They're not like the best looking parts of bodies.
I think they're great.
I think they're cool. Yeah.
But they're not like, I'm not like, wow, I think this person's cute, but I got to get a look at their dick to find out. That's not me. But it can be you.
I mean, I'm definitely interested.
Like
penises and penis fish.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know we were going to talk about dicks, but I'm glad we got there.
Just trying to bring it in.
And
next
stuff. Time, yeah, and stuff.
Yeah.
So next time we have Johnny J redo. Got to make sure the internet's not stupid. Yeah. I guess we're gonna hopefully.
And everyone will be healthy.
Everyone will be healthy. Not me. That is not my kind of New Year's resolution.
Okay, not healthy. Able to hear and talk and appear on video.
Sure, yeah. But if you want to, in a big fuck you to New Year's resolutions, we can also eat junk food during the episode if everyone's interested in that.
I get down with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right.
Real Coke for you, Des.
Oh no, that shit tastes nasty.
You can have your Diet Coke still. Just don't show it on screen. No, don't show it on screen. Gross. Okay, are we done?
I think we're done.
Wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you, Anne, for being a guest. This was fun.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for putting up with our shit. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can figure out when we're actually off the air. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to push the button now.